Construction workers who despise the tedious job of concrete leveling can now rejoice, because a game-changing construction tool has entered the scene. The Bullfrog Trac II is simple in design, but absolutely genius in application. To start the process, a cable is easily stretched around the edges of the port of the machine. When this is installed, the Bullfrog will start its back and forth movement over the patch of concrete, leveling impressive 4 to 10 feet or 1.2 to 3 meter strokes with every run. The good news is that this machine is battery operated, so no struggling with extension cords and looking for an outlet on the job site. A full charge of the battery is enough to cover a level an astonishing 12,000 square feet or 1,115 square meters, so no job is too big. To warn you when the battery is running low, this clever machine has an indicator light that will start flashing, and it includes an alarm sound. The two 100-foot or 30-meter cables needed for operation are included in the kit, which can be yours for around $3,500. Best of all, it only needs a team of 2 operators to run efficiently. The sheer scale of this Swiss cement plant alone is more than enough to get anybody's attention right away. And then there's the fact that this particular facility is also a pioneer in the use of Industry 4.0 technology. This is where Holcim is testing the future of smart construction and how it can help improve the industry as a whole. They've managed to create a full digital twin of the entire plant, and what is essentially a fully interactive replica of the entire plant that lets operators explore and monitor it as if they were walking through it in real time. But all this is definitely not just for show, because the system also gives workers what is essentially a live view of operations and then lets them predict equipment wear and tear before it causes trouble by visualizing and analyzing the plant digitally like this, and especially thanks to the help of smart algorithms that can crunch the massive amounts of data being created. Operators can start to predict when a piece of equipment will likely start to fail, or help forecast maintenance needs, plan for downtime, and fine-tune production schedules. For those unlucky homeowners or builders who have had to deal with the nightmare that is rotten timber, or had to say goodbye to a window or door that almost made it, this next product might come as a very welcome surprise. And it's not some complex industrial fix either. It's a smart little solution called EndRot from the team at System 3. So instead of replacing entire wooden structures that have been damaged by the sun, bugs, moisture, or just plain old rot, this product helps you to stop the dreaded decay in its tracks and restore what's still worth saving. The starter kit costs around $50 and contains everything you need to seal, protect, and reinforce these damaged areas. If the damage is more than skin deep, like in pillars or structural elements, there's something for that too. Sculpt Wood Max is that thing. And since this reinforced epoxy putty has a compressive strength 4 times higher than standard filler, cures in about 24 hours, is easy to sand, drill, and paint, and also plays well with most primers and coatings. There is no doubt that it's going to, if it hasn't already, become a favorite with those who want to repair any kind of wood. You might not give much thought to where the water goes when it rains, but our next entry will immediately change this. Scoring a spot on a short list of finalists in a prestigious German design competition is easier said than done, but the D Rain Tank 3000 has managed to do just that by earning itself not 1 but 2 German Design Award nominations. This system forms the core of the Funke KS Bluebox, a fully modular rainwater retention and filtration setup that's doing some seriously impressive things below the surface. It's got a clever bit of engineering that's worth knowing about, made from heavy-duty D-Rain Tech elements. The system can store up to 97% of its internal volume, making it one of the most space-efficient solutions of its kind. And durability? Not a problem. These tanks are tough enough to hide underground beneath highways with heavy traffic rolling right over them, but haven't been designed with the sole purpose of being buried or storing water out of sight. Instead, the Bluebox system also collects, holds, and gradually releases rainwater. Thereby, it greatly reduces flood risks and easing pressure on drainage networks. It's especially useful for supporting urban greenery, parks, rooftop gardens, and city landscaping that all need consistent irrigation. This is exactly what next-gen infrastructure should look and work like: sustainable, smart, and nearly invisible. You might not want or need them to, but now your builder can work through rain, sleet, snow, or wind to complete your project, and your walls will still look amazing. And it's all thanks to Certus, a modular brick slip cladding system for ACS Facades, with a brilliantly put-together design and serious practicality. This dry fix system uses non-combustible A1-rated materials and a solid aesthetic stainless steel base. Because everything's pre-made under strict factory controls, every piece shows up on site, ready to slot right into place. No tar, no glue, and no on-site modifications required. In fact, since the whole thing is designed for fast, simple installation, and the system doesn't care about weather complaints like snow, rain, or wind, one person can handle the whole thing. Each brick slip unit weighs around 33 pounds or 15 kilograms, and as there are no limits when it comes to vertical reach, you can go as high as the project demands, and the manufacturer also promises that Certus will have a lifespan of over 60 years. Best of all, it can be installed up to 5 times faster than the more traditional cladding options available today. Spare a thought for those who have to work and perform complicated repairs on some of the world's most difficult platforms, because the challenges these workers face aren't just technical, they're physical, risky, and often carried out in high-stress environments where safety and precision are non-negotiable. We hope that these workers are aware of the existence of products like the QuikDeck. This modular suspended platform system can take a lot, if not all, the pressure off their shoulders, literally, and allow them to focus on their jobs and not their safety. QuikDeck is designed to adapt to tricky spaces and carry serious loads, whether it's under a bridge, inside a power plant, or out at sea on a decommissioned oil rig, and the layout is fully customizable. As a matter of fact, this incredible system can scale all the way up to 32,300 square feet, or 3,000 square meters. Each module is crafted to perfection, to simply click into place with zero complications, and can easily support 661 pounds per 11 square feet, or 300 kilograms per square meter. One major win for QuikDeck was its role in decommissioning the Shell Lemon Bravo platform in the North Sea. When working high above the ocean, use this system to safely remove 837,800 pounds, or 380 tons of steel. How strong do you really need your walls to be? Our next invention answers this question. There's a reason that Permacast walls have been given the spotlight in so many high security and extreme weather builds. These structures are tough, tested, built to last, and not just your average concrete panels. The Permacast team has figured out how to cast walls vertically, cutting down production time and cost without sacrificing strength. One version of their PermaWall 2.0 has even shrugged off shots from a Desert Eagle firing .50 caliber rounds. When it comes to durability, Permacast has decided to go all in. But Permacast isn't just about strength, and they've seriously upped the game with these vertical casting molds that make it faster and more affordable for anyone to produce hurricane-resistant walls. The company proudly boasts that if you lined up every panel they've ever produced, you'd have a concrete line stretching over 611 miles or 980 kilometers. They've gone as far as creating their own in-house R&D department that is tasked with finding even smarter, more efficient and cost-effective ways to build. Permacast is opening the door to a new kind of construction, and their panels are popular everywhere from hurricane zones to high-security installations. Started in Germany, REHAU might not be a household name, but they're a surprisingly big and ambitious company that's grown into a global leader in high-performance polymers and polymer-based systems. With their range of products for use in everything from construction to water management, they have a presence in dozens of countries around the world. Their latest launch, the AWACONNECT Flex Plus, nothing short of revolutionizes how large, heavy-duty pipes are joined out in the field, and is turning heads for all the right reasons. With this coupling system in hand, workers can take basically any pipe regardless of wall thickness, coating, or surface texture, and couple it to any other pipe in less time than it takes to drink a cup of coffee. The AWACONNECT Flex Plus is compatible with fiberglass, cast iron, reinforced concrete, and just about any other type of pipe you can find. And massive pipes with diameters over 18 inches or 455 millimeters are no problem either. That kind of flexibility makes it a great option for water and sewer projects where pipe material and surface conditions aren't always consistent. To somehow make things even easier, REHAU provides a handy online calculator to help users select the right size and configuration. Oh, and did we mention that once installed, this system can easily last for close to a century of use? When you think of concrete, lightweight and eco-friendly probably aren't the first words that come to mind. But Holcim is trying to change that. They are so serious about it they have joined forces with the Zurich University of Applied Sciences and the city of Winterthur to create a whole new kind of concrete panel to prove that concrete doesn't have to be bulky or bad for the planet. What they ended up creating is a sleek new material called CPC, short for carbon pre-stressed concrete. By reinforcing the concrete with carbon fiber and then pre-stressing it, these ultra-thin slabs can still carry a full load, despite being 3 times thinner than conventional options. That's not even the most impressive part, because CPC production also generates around 4 times fewer CO2 emissions and uses 75% less raw materials every time, meaning the company has been able to successfully raise the bar for sustainability in the concrete industry and cement its place as a leader in low-impact construction. What's more, in Winterthur, the very first CPC building is already up and running and generously houses a discussion space, a workshop, and a cozy cafe all under one super slim roof. Installation is as important as any part of a construction job, so keep watching to see the top option by far. If your heating setup includes an air-to-water heat pump, here's something that might just make your life easier. This is DOYMAfix HP, and it's the world's first professional above-ground entry system built just for these pumps. You can essentially think of it as a sleek, smart interface between your wall and your pump that packs a lot of useful features into a compact design. It creates a sealed, insulated opening in the wall that lets the pipes and cables pass through cleanly while maintaining the wall's thermal insulation and keeping out water, wind, and pests. It's above ground, so you don't need to dig or run anything underground, making installation faster and easier. It handles installation, sealing, and compliance all in one low-profile, easy-to-install unit. So whether you're working on a brand new build or upgrading an older system, this system fits wall up to 19.7 inches or 500 millimeters thick and is so easy to install. One person can handle the whole job. As more people switch to heat pumps across Europe and North America, having a proper wall entry like this one matters more than ever. And curiously enough, the manufacturer also thought it pertinent to make the design bird and peck-proof. Here's something you don't see every day. Insulation made from wood. It's called TimberFill, and it's pumped in like any other insulation, but made from renewable wood fibers instead of plastic-based materials. And if you're thinking that sounds rather flammable, then you aren't alone. But TimberFill is a really great alternative to traditional insulation, and it's far safer than you would think. It can hold up against an open flame for 2 hours. This is thanks to special treatment with a fire retardant chemical called borate that not only fireproofs the fibers, but also keeps insects and moisture-related issues like mold away, giving it truly long-term durability in all kinds of climates. And if you like peace and quiet, or if your house tends to echo like a cave, then the fact that it delivers the best sound performance in the industry will be another great selling point. Plus, while the functionality is pretty great, that's not the whole picture, because TimberFill is also completely made out of wood waste, giving it a much coveted negative carbon footprint, and helping it to actually absorb and store CO2 over its lifetime instead of releasing it. What if your walls, floors, and even your ceiling could think like a climate system? That's kind of the idea behind Roth ClimaComfort, a low-profile, high-efficiency surface heating and cooling solution from Rothwork, a German company with deep roots in energy and building systems. It's likely that when most people think about heating and cooling, they picture bulky radiators or humming vents that have to be built right into the ceilings and walls. But the ClimaComfort panel system can be easily concealed behind just about any surface, parquet, tile, or laminate, and still do its job beautifully, specifically because it's been designed with modern homes and sensitive renovation projects in mind. Its ultra-slim design of just 0.6 inches or 17 millimeters thick make it one of the most modestly sized panel systems on the market. It's ideal for tight installs where every inch counts. It doesn't just heat either. During the warmer months, it cools interiors just as efficiently, without blowing air around or making a sound. Your comfort won't come at the planet's expense either, since the panels are made entirely from upcycled materials. Do you ever stop to think about the complex systems underneath your feet when walking along your city? Keep watching to see why you don't need to. Stormwater drains might not get much attention, and most people probably walk right over them without a second thought. But the truth is that these buried systems quietly play a huge role in managing runoff and keeping cities from flooding, especially when the rain won't let up. And the ADS StormTech is a shining example of just such a system, virtually invisible to the public eye, but absolutely vital to the health of infrastructure and doing big things underground, hidden beneath roads and parking lots. These arch chambers might be out of sight, but the benefits they deliver are anything but trivial. Each unit is built from a tough polymer material that rivals concrete in durability, but is way easier to keep in working order. Together, the system can store up to 55,973 cubic feet or 1,585 cubic meters of water, and they don't lose any of that capacity even after years of use. And issues like debris and contaminants, they're handled by special isolator Row Plus chambers that act like internal filters and capture runoff pollutants before they have a chance to cause trouble. Designers and engineers can even tap into a set of smart online tools to monitor each system down to the last chamber. You wouldn't expect a complicated step-like formwork to be easy for anyone, but the people at Stepoc, a well-known formwork system provider, have actually managed to make it quite simple. The company might not have officially stated it, but basically, if you can stack Lego, you're halfway there, because their concrete blocks are designed to click together without any mortar being involved, and regardless of the skill level of the person doing the job. Another plus is that the company has managed to take their simple and powerful system and make it even more versatile by including a design that allows you to install the blocks in places where traditional approaches might struggle. Stepoc also lets you pour concrete in one continuous go, which gives you much stronger results as there will be fewer seams and weak spots. It can adapt to a surprising range of projects, including everything from retaining walls and basements to elevator shafts or swimming pools. And because you only need about 12 blocks for every 11 square feet or square meter of wall, it's efficient too. It's really quite impressive what Stepoc has managed to wrap into one package. Old buildings often come with a whole lot of charm and character, but sometimes they often come with a whole lot of problems. Remodeling old buildings can be more of a challenge than you'd expect, particularly if you're dealing with older slabs that just weren't built for today's loads. But next time, instead of ripping out entire floors or battling with heavy screed, maybe give ARDEX StormLite a go and see what happens. Nervous renovators also don't need to worry, because this system is lightweight enough for use on fragile wood slabs or even bumpy surfaces that aren't crisscrossed with webs of cables and wires. This is because it adds just 60 pounds per 11 square feet, or 27 kilograms per square meter, so you get just the strength you need without the weight you don't. The setup is refreshingly simple too, and consists of just 3 components: a filler, a leveler, and a reinforcing mesh. And that's it. It's quick as well, since tiles can go down after just 36 hours, while parquet can be installed in under 5 days. And there's support for in-floor heating setups too. How much can be improved on a design that hasn't been changed for hundreds of years? Surprisingly, the answer is a lot. In the world of construction, bricks haven't changed all that much in what seems like centuries, but not everyone is convinced that this is a good thing. and companies like Uniti Brick have decided to take a different approach and a bold step away from the status quo. Uniti Brick is flipping the script on traditional brickmaking by ditching the kiln entirely and creating a new generation of building blocks made from a proprietary blend of just soil, sand, cement, and a little splash of water. This completely fresh and innovative method means that the bricks are pressed into shape using a powerful hydraulic machine, not fired, and that means a lighter footprint right from the start. That combo also makes each block about 30% cheaper than your standard red brick. This isn't really just about saving money, because the bricks actually get stronger with time, and they perform better in the heat too. Homes built with Uniti bricks stay roughly 7 degrees Fahrenheit or 4 degrees Celsius cooler in summer. Furthermore, you soon forget the old way of laying bricks too, because this system uses rebar to hold bricks in place, then fills the whole thing with cement mortar, perfectly combining the speed of dry stacking with the strength of poured concrete. Builders in the know will already be aware that there are many reasons why a product like Econo-Slab is the best choice for their projects. But if you are not familiar with the advantages of this product, let's go over a few more details about it. First of all, if you're looking to save time, effort, and a whole lot of concrete chaos on your next build, Econo-Slab might just be your best option, instead of relying on the usual complex prep and multiple pour stages. It comes with pre-designed anchor bolt templates, so crews can literally hit the ground running, no second guessing or measuring twice. The system also uses a custom concrete mix, and this stuff is formulated so well that you won't even need expansion joints, cutting out an entire step from the usual process and reducing both labor and material costs. The load distribution is top-tier stuff too, since it allows for a single smooth pour instead of multiple stages, and foundations that have been built using Econo-Slab will typically cost around 50% less than those done the old-fashioned way. Add it all up, and you're looking at some serious cost savings. Holcim returns to our list again, and with this next intriguing product, and it is definitely an interesting one. It's called Geostone, and it's a rather bold and, dare we say, very appealing twist on traditional paving. It seems the company is determined to find a way to make concrete more aesthetically appealing and unusual. This Australian-made decorative concrete was never designed to blend into the background, and instead, it was created to make a statement and show off the natural beauty and complexity of this unique medium. This all works thanks to one clever swap, replacing plain old gray gravel with naturally colored aggregates, sourced from Australia's mineral-rich landscape. Holcim saw an opportunity to turn concrete into something more personal and beautiful, and to do that without it losing any of its toughness. Geostone's multicolored stones create unique finishes that make driveways, patios, and pool areas feel like elegant custom works of art, because the stones come straight from nature. Each batch has its own character, ensuring no two pours ever look exactly the same. It also stays cool underfoot, even during blazingly hot summers, and is conveniently slip resistant even when it's wet. You wouldn't think the ground of all things needs protection, but what's coming up on our list will convince you why this is vitally important. Restoring centuries-old walls isn't exactly a weekend project. From crumbling castles to aging bridges and residential buildings that predate your favorite retro playlist, Europe is full of masonry that is going to need more than just a good old coat of paint to standing. Luckily, Uretek, a company that specializes in ground engineering and structural restoration, has developed advanced solutions like these that can breathe new life into aging stone and brickwork without having to disturb the original craftsmanship. This masonry regeneration system is a two-part injection compound that has been designed to penetrate deep into brick, stone, and mortar, thereby reinforcing them from within. This isn't just a patch-and-go job either, as once inside, the compound hardens in place and gives strength back to aging walls, buttresses, pedestals, and even load-bearing supports. It's precise, minimally invasive, and doesn't mess with the original appearance. Even if that stone happens to be near water, it won't be affected, because once cured, it becomes inert, stable, and resistant to decay, even underwater, making it perfect for foundations that are located near large bodies of water or tidal zones. How do you protect a pristine grass field while 86,000 people cheer, jump, and dance across it at the same time? That's exactly the challenge that is faced by one of the largest stadiums in South America, Argentina's River Plate Stadium. Every time it has to play host to large events, organizers at this stadium know fully well that without some really serious help, their beautiful turf will be toast in a matter of hours. So they turn to Versare, a company that makes modular flooring that can protect just about any surface. Their Everbase panels are tough to say the least. Each square meter can take a beating of up to 8,447 pounds per square foot, or 41 tons per square meter, which is round about the equivalent of parking 6 fully loaded pickup trucks on a single tile. This brute strength is more than enough to handle stages, speakers, and steel-toe boots. What's more, Versare's flooring is tough, portable, and endlessly reusable, and the interlocking tiles come in an extensive array of handy sizes, with a popular choice being their 3.9 by 7.8 feet or 1.2 by 2.4 meter option. Next up, we have a little trick from the world of smart, low-cost building: filler slab construction. It may not sound very glamorous, but this method has the potential to shave up to 20% of your concrete use and cut the finished slab's weight by a solid 30%, all without compromising structural strength. How? By adding low-cost, low-structural materials into the slab where concrete isn't structurally necessary. By far the most popular choice is clay pots. They're simple, cheap, and widely available. Plus, they won't react with concrete or steel. And they also efficiently create individual pockets of air within the slab that help reduce the volume of concrete needed. These pots are actually perfect for filling in the dead space inside slabs where concrete isn't actually doing much work. And this low-key genius method was famously used by Laurie Baker, a British-born Indian architect who championed sustainable, affordable building long before it was as mainstream as it is today. And there's an unexpected bonus. Once the slab sets, the finished ceiling created by these slabs often has a distinctive geometric look, without you needing to add a costly ceiling finish later. Moisture spells bad news for construction projects and buildings, and now there is finally a way to beat this pesky issue once and for all. 75,000 fans, solar panels on the roof, and Wi-Fi routers every 100 seats. That's exactly what you can expect if you ever pay a visit to Levi's Stadium in California, a tech-forward arena that's been called one of the smartest stadiums in the world. And while everyone talks about the big features like the data load, of over 10 terabytes transferred during a single game, not many might notice that there's one piece of clever engineering hiding in what seems like plain sight. The thing is, when you build something that massive, expansion joints are a must. But here, they went for something a little different. The SJS-Seismic Joint System by CKM Seal. It's an insert designed specifically to fill seismic joints without the need for messy fasteners or anchors, because it's made from a combo of silicone and high-performance foam. The SJS system absorbs sound, dampens vibrations, keeps out water, and even makes ongoing maintenance easier, which just goes to show that even the parts no one sees can be built better. And in a stadium this advanced, why wouldn't the engineers go the extra mile with every detail? The odds that some of you have walked into one of Liri Structure's tents without even realizing it is probably higher than you would expect. These tents can be found all over, and if you've been to a big event in the last decade, you have likely already stood under one. Their setups are so clean and professional, you'd never guess they were designed to come down just as fast as they went up. But these temporary structures don't just pop up randomly and are part of a seriously well-oiled operation. Since it started operating back in 1997, Liri has been exporting its custom-designed tents all over the world, and today their products can be found in over 120 countries, and clients ranging from small events to large international expeditions. These aren't your average pop-up tents either, since one of their massive dome designs spans up to 200 feet or 60 meters across, and every structure is engineered to handle wind speeds of up to 66 miles per hour or 106 kilometers per hour. They're made with pretty standard stuff: steel frames and PVC-coated polyester. But the engineering involved is not so standard, which is fitting, since Liri promises performance that's anything but ordinary too. At first, moisture slowly creeping up your walls might seem harmless, but for buildings, it's usually a sneaky and often persistent threat over time. Thanks to something called capillary action, water can actually travel upward through porous materials like brick and concrete, sometimes across dozens of feet. This inevitably leads to damp, damaged interiors that no one asked for, not to mention the overall weakening of the entire structure and inviting mold. But as luck would have it, there's actually already a solution to this problem, and it's called ISOTEC. The approach is really surprisingly simple. By using specialized tools, ISOTEC creates horizontal channels in masonry walls, spaced around 4 inches or 10 centimeters apart, and after that a non-toxic wax compound that solidifies into a protective barrier, about 6 inches or 15 centimeters thick, is injected into the gaps. This layer blocks moisture from climbing any higher, effectively cutting off the source of internal dampness completely, and in turn preventing the development of fungal growth. Since this is the era of planet-conscious movements, the wax is created 100% environmentally friendly, chemically stable, and safe for indoor use. A big ball of tangled wiring is anyone's worst nightmare, but we might have found the solution to make cable and wire messes a thing of the past for good. Tidy cables, safe sockets, and easy upgrades. Those are the simple yet surprisingly powerful ideas behind the creation of the Hager Wandgoot BRN65, a next-generation wall duct system designed with places in mind where safety, flexibility, and clean organization aren't just nice to have. They're non-negotiable. Hager knows that managing the modern jungle of wiring is not for the faint of heart, especially in schools, offices, or any place where tech is constantly on the move. That's exactly why the BRN65 was built to be adaptable as well as versatile. To start off with, it's available in 3 handy widths: 5.1, 6.7, and 8.2 inches or 13, 17, and 21 centimeters. Then to add on to that, it also features separate compartments for power, fiber optic, and data cables. Even the corner joints are flexible enough within a 10-degree range, which means it can easily snake its way around tricky layouts. Plus, to make things even more flexible, the design has taken into account that you might need to add more outlets down the line. And when that time comes, just pop it open, plug it in, and snap it back shut. They may look like something you'd scoop up on a quiet walk along the shore, but these pebbles aren't just pretty stones, because the Brazilian company Pasinato turned them into a core element of a luxury design business instead. The company handcrafts these natural stones into high-end finishings that are more artwork than tile, turning nature's cast-offs into design statements. Think shower walls, boutique floors, or spa-like accents in homes that lean into texture and tranquility. And since these stone layouts are not mass-produced and they're not flashy, if you're after a finish that's unique, grounding, and quietly elegant, then this might be the stone you build your space around. Each square panel measures 12 by 12 inches or 30.5 by 30.5 centimeters and comes in at a slim 0.8 inches or 2 centimeters thick, making them a great fit even for compact spaces. And yes, that craftsmanship does come at a price, and since each piece is assembled by hand, you can't really expect beach prices here. At $155 per square panel, it's not exactly cheap for what started out as sun-bleached rocks, but the result is something that feels completely different, and that makes a unique statement all on its own. They're meticulously arranged, hand-mounted, and lovingly curated to create a soothing, natural vibe that feels like you just stepped into a beach paradise, even if you're only in your own bathroom. The Sol AG wall system is a Swiss-made solution that is able to bring more than one benefit to the table, and does it in such an elegant and natural manner that we think it deserves some recognition. Their walls pull double duty by keeping things private and pretty at the same time, and they will fit in perfectly with a small backyard space or an empty garden edge, and can be used to create your own little secret garden fit for a king, or at least a very lucky tomato plant, whether you're looking to carve out a peaceful corner for your plants or block out your noisy neighbors. This setup is most probably the answer. Sol's idea is surprisingly clever and wonderfully minimal. Simple, stackable wall elements that go up fast, look polished, and will last through the seasons, if not for the next decade, and don't take up a lot of space. Depending on your taste or your budget, you'll have several options to choose from. Maybe go for a more natural look with granite and other stone finishes, or choose concrete bricks for a sleeker, Spartan and clean-lined look. The endless worry that paving gives homeowners is now about to dissolve with a permanent and rugged solution that leaves everyone who sees it wildly impressed. Salespeople can sometimes be a bit pushy and might even have a tendency to overstate the benefits of their products, but we think the Aspire pavers actually live up to the hype, especially when you see how easy they are to install and how sleek the final result looks. The manufacturers of these outdoor tiles think they've cracked the code to creating the ultimate low-maintenance patio or poolside, since their pavers are built to be immune to any pesky issues like cracks, stains, or scratches, and they come with an almost ridiculously easy installation process. Aspire's innovative patented grid system literally lets you snap everything together without using any complicated equipment, and just about any regular cutting tool will do the trick if you feel the need to adjust the layout. And if you like choices, they've got you covered too, because there's a range of colors and sizes. And as an added bonus, they come with a certified eco-friendly badge too, since they're 95% recycled materials. The standard 4x8-inch or 10x20 centimeter pavers will cost around $135 per 11 square feet or square meter, which is actually a lot cheaper than some of the other similar products out there. What's better than a grinding machine that runs perfectly? One that you've built yourself and can improve whenever you like. In this video, you can see how one inventive maker proves that with the right tools and of course a bit of know-how, you can create your own custom grinding machine right in your workshop. It's cleanly built, obviously quite efficient, and runs surprisingly smoothly. Plus, it does exactly what it needs to, without the price tag of commercial models. And since every part is tailored to the maker's workflow, it works in a way that makes the most sense for them. And since it's entirely custom, the builder isn't locked into one configuration. There is a lot of room left for smarter, more personalized solutions. This can include adding protective screens and even an attachment for a vacuum to clean the grinding dust as you go. There's always problems on the job site, but with a tool like this, no problem will stand in your way. What was your favorite construction invention? For more content like this, click on the video on the screen.